Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your home for all things that go bump in the dark and your fan stories told here. Caitlin writes in, I grew up in Rock Hill, South Carolina. There had always been talks of a cult, right? A satanic cult, but you could never peg them down, just old urban legends, things to keep you scared, right? Kids in school would talk, well, I heard they met at the old Ivory Park Cemetery. No, that's not where they meet. They meet at the old abandoned hotel. No, they meet in the Whistly house. Nobody knew where they were, and it didn't seem like the cops or the news was all too terribly interested in the stories anyway. But we all knew that they existed. Every now and then you'd even see them in town. But you could tell that it was them because they wore this red lapel pin. I know that sounds silly, but what other kind of group of people walk around with this red lapel pin? It was how you knew who they were. I was a young, rebellious, disgruntled teenager myself, and I totally wanted to get involved. My parents told me I couldn't, and that I shouldn't, and that you don't meddle with things like this. Don't even talk that way. But I so wanted to find out. At 16 years old, I thought I was a Harriet the Spy. I followed some of them one day, past the old cemetery, past the woods, and I got out of my car, and I followed them into the woods. They were all standing around in a circle, chanting in, I guess, Latin, some language I didn't know. They had a fire burning, and a young woman, no more than 20 years old, was in the middle of the fire. It was like she was in a trance. They all seemed to be gathered around her, continuously chanting whatever they were chanting. Then whoever was in charge, one who was wearing a very dark and long robe, came to her and unalived her. I screamed and gasped in fright. I knew exactly what I saw, and then they heard me. One of them saw me. I ran as fast as I could back to my car, as fastly as I could, passing everything, leaving nothing behind. I got to my car and I drove as fast as I could, all the way back home. I got home and I told my mom and dad. I told everybody about it. I told them exactly what I saw. My dad had called the cops and they drove out to the woods. I took them back there. They didn't find anything. They didn't find any remnants of a fire or anything else. It was all gone. They thought I was making it up. I was a rebellious teenager after all. They didn't like that I was making stories up. My parents scolded me and said, why were you even involved with these people in the first place? We've told you to stay away from them. The phone calls started coming at all hours of the night. The phone would ring and my father or mother would answer it. We're looking for Caitlin. Where is Caitlin? We will find her. You cannot keep her safe. She has seen things that she should not see. We would call the police and file reports, but all the calls were untraceable. They were coming from payphones. They were coming from all areas of Rock Hill. They would never just come from one area. My parents decided it would be best that I go and stay with my aunt and uncle in Boone. And that's what I did. Graduated high school. I went to college. It had all been 15 years. I never had any more paranormal or harassing phone calls. Nothing like that. It all just seemed to end. Me and my fiance went home for the first time in forever. Went and stayed the night at my parents' house. It was a horrible, horrible idea. The moment I stepped foot in the house, the phone rang, and I answered. It had been 15 years. We didn't think anything about it. I picked the phone up and put the receiver to my ear. Hello, Caitlin. We're glad to see that you made it back home. I dropped the phone and turned white as a ghost. All my fears started running through me again. They know I'm here. We have to leave. They know I'm here. I was freaking out. My dad told my fiance, you have to get her out of here. Get her out of here. Keep her safe. We'll call you later, but she can't be here. We didn't even have time to unpack the car. We drove all the way to the airport nonstop. The whole time we were driving up and down the road, I felt like everyone was looking at us. Like everyone was there that was just staring at us. Everything felt so uncomfortable. We get to the airport and the valet looks at us strangely. Don't let him near the car. He could be one of them. Don't let him near the car. Relax. Calm down. It's okay. I'm here. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. We get out of the car and my fiance almost faints. I've never seen him act that way. He's screaming at me now, get out of the car. We have to get out of the car. Go, get out of the car. I step and I see the hood of the car. The hood of the car is painted with my name on it. It's good to see you again, Caitlin. I love a good story that leaves you on a cliffhanger, and that's the way this one was left to us. If you have a story, please send it in to Paranormal Nightshift, and I hope you enjoyed.